It may seem counterintuitive, but there could be times in your life and career when choosing to earn less could help you in the long run. Our question this week: when is it a good idea to take a pay cut? Krystal Yee is a personal finance blogger and co-author of The Beginner's Guide to Saving and Investing. Great to have you with us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So obviously, Krystal, nobody wants to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
When does it make sense to, when you're evaluating a move, to actually take a step back in pay?
Well, I think one of the main reasons people decide to take pay cuts is because they're changing their careers completely. It's pretty unreasonable to ask for, a large salary when you're starting at the bottom and you have little to no experience. Another reason people would consider taking a pay cut is if they decide to go freelance. It's a big dream of a lot of people to become self-employed, but it's a lot of hard work and hustle, and sometimes taking a pay cut at the very beginning will help in the future.
Is there obviously an upward trajectory might make a difference? You might take a step back if you're moving to a situation where the opportunities for pay gains in the future are high?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, sometimes if you're at a job and you're stalled and there's no growth potential, it may be reasonable to, choose another company where, you get lower pay at the beginning, but in the long term, it's going to benefit you for the growth and opportunity.
Do you think that people value kind of the perks that go beyond the salary that can add up to benefits? In other words, maybe more vacation time, long-term benefits like retirement packages. Do we value those properly when we're evaluating our pay?
I think a lot of the times people get caught up in the actual number of your salary, but a lot of the things are really beneficial when it comes to full compensation packages. For example, if you get a pension, or you work closer to home, or you get to be able to work from home, there's a lot of things that can add up to and take into consideration.
One thing we know about younger workers is that they will tend to change jobs more often. And in fact, not just jobs, but maybe even change course more often. Does that add up to more steps like this, do you think, that people will have to kind of reevaluate what they can earn if they're changing direction?
Yeah, I think that if you keep changing directions, it's hard to maintain an upward career path. It's easier if you stay within the same career path and you kind of keep going up in that kind of movement.
One of the questions, of course, a lot of people have is how to negotiate this stuff. Are people generally good at it? Do you think people, especially millennials, know how to negotiate for their salary?
I think it's hard when you're starting out to have the confidence to negotiate. I think it's important to be confident and to have all the information ahead of time before you decide to go into a salary negotiation.
And what's your advice on that? Would you say, I think some would-be employees, potential employees, are afraid of scaring somebody off with a high number. What's the best approach to getting what you want? Do you overshoot, or are you quite realistic about what you need?
Well, I think when you're starting out, it's a good idea to take a look at all the other jobs that are out there that you're interested in and take a look at the pay scale. For example, if you're starting out, you're not going to be looking at, an $80,000 or $90,000 job. You're going to be looking at something, around entry level, $30,000 to $40,000. And if you shoot within that ballpark, and the employer will come back with you probably with a counter offer. So I think it's important to not underestimate yourself, but at the same time be realistic with your expectations.
There is some data and research out there that suggests that women are not as good at negotiating or bargaining for salaries as men. Do you think that that's fair? And if it is fair, what can be done about it?
I think that might be true. I mean, in my past, it has been, I've been called aggressive with my approaches for getting, salaries, but I really think that if you don't go after what you're looking for, someone else is going to beat you to it. And so if the offer is out there, you need to be the one to seize it, otherwise you've lost that opportunity.
So what's your best advice on preparing for a salary negotiation?
I think it's a good idea to go on the internet and do some research into other comparable jobs, as well as go on websites like Glassdoor and talk to colleagues and other people within your industry to see what the going rate is. I think it's also really important to take into consideration, like we talked before, about the total compensation package. So, for example, if they're offering you a lower salary, perhaps that's okay if the benefits of that job outweigh that.
And would you ever recommend that somebody, in order to get an opportunity, take a wage that isn't really a living wage?
Well, I think that's really difficult. I mean, I live in Vancouver, so if you don't, have a living wage, it's hard to get by. But there's always opportunities to make more income if you, at your full-time job, you aren't making enough to make ends meet. You can freelance, find a second job. There's definitely ways to get around it.
All right, Krystal, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.